The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is categorized as a motorcycle gang by numerous police and foreign intelligence organizations, which claim that its members engage in a variety of violent crimes, including drug trafficking, the trafficking of stolen items, running guns, extortion, and prostitution rings. Welcome to CrimeFlicks. We'll be looking at the crimes in which the motorcycle club members are involved, so stay tuned until the end. The Hells Angels first established branches in Melbourne and Sydney in 1975, and today the organisation has 14 chapters and about 250 members throughout Australia. The club has historically engaged in activities such as drug trafficking, prostitution, armed robbery, arms trafficking, fencing stolen property, and murder for hire in Australia, but more recently they have expanded into a more respectable industries like gyms, tattoo parlours, haulage firms, and security sector. According to the police, the Hells Angels engage in money laundering by channeling cash through reliable enterprises. Adam Lee Hall in the Springfield courtroom. Witnesses are testifying in Adam Lee Hall's case. A Hells Angel is one of the 3 defendants accused of torturing and killing 3 Pittsfield men during Hurricane. Their remains were cut into pieces by Irene, who then buried them in Beckett. Hall allegedly possessed 3 guns the night of the 2011 incident, according to a former lover of his. Due to the case's prominence, the trial was shifted from Berkshire County to Springfield. The Supreme Judicial Court maintained Adam Lee Hall's 3 first-degree convictions and denied his plea for a new trial, but it also determined that Hall was not responsible for kidnapping one of the victims a year prior to the sentences. In 2014, first-degree charges against Paul and his 2 accomplices, David Shalau and Caius Veiovis, were all upheld. 2 Hells Angel Motorcycle Club members from Sonoma County and the 3rd Angel from Fresno were found guilty by a federal court of murder in support of racketeering. According to the Department of Justice, a court convicted Jonathan Nelson, commonly known as John Joe, 46, Russell Taylor Ott, 69, and Brian Wayne Went, 45, of Tulare guilty of killing one of their own members and participating in a conspiracy to commit murder on Wednesday. The 1972 founded Sonoma County Hells Angels Club derives some of its income from the sale of t-shirts, caps, sweatshirts, and other club-branded merchandise. Additionally, they have funded toy drives for kids. The California Highway Patrol, the Santa Rosa Police Department, and the DOJ all participated in an 8-year investigation of the Sonoma Club. The DOJ said that the conspiracy includes murder, drug dealing, assault, robbery, extortion, illegal possession of guns, and obstruction of justice. 11 Hells Angels members were charged with conspiracy in 2017. According to the DOJ, Nelson, Ott, and Went were all involved in that sweep and were all found guilty of killing Joel Silver, a club member who they believed to have been causing issues for the motorcycle club. Nelson and Ott, according to federal prosecutors, planned Silver's murder. On July 15, 2014, Ott drove Silver to Fresno on the pretense that he needed to fight with Went, the president of the Fresno chapter, in order to resolve his issues with the club. Went arrived and immediately shot Silver in the head. Silver's body was cremated at a nearby crematorium the next day. Additional details regarding the Hells Angels clubs in Sonoma were revealed throughout the trial. According to witnesses, there was a pattern of making threats against anyone who reported the motorcycle gang's activities to the authorities. It was made crystal clear to anyone who would testify or serve as a witness, as well as their families, that they would suffer the consequences. According to the DOJ, each of the 3 defendants is required to serve a life term in prison. On August 12, 2001, Hells Angels members killed Bandidos associate Fleming Jensen by beating and stabbing him to death in a pub in Aalborg. On February 7, 2002, Hells Angels prospect Jesper Stankaya Kristofferson, who admitted to stabbing Jensen 8 times, received a 6-year prison term for manslaughter. On September 18, 2002, John Jonk Nielsen, who was accused of kicking and stomping on Jensen by witnesses, received a 4-year sentence for aggravated assault that resulted in death. In Denmark, Altered Klar 81, a Hells Angels affiliated street gang, was founded in 2007 to compete with immigrant street gangs for control of the lucrative black market for hashish. Due to the fact that the AK-81 members are not obliged to own a motorcycle or wear a patch, and that racial tensions are at an all-time high in some areas of Denmark, the group has been recruiting far faster than the mainstream Hells Angels. Osman Nuri Dogan, a 19-year-old Turkishman, was shot and killed in Tinbjerg on August 14, 2008 by an AK-81 member. Later that year, on October 8th, there was a shootout in one of Copenhagen's neighborhoods between members of the AK-81 and a group of immigrants, during which one man was hurt. I hope you guys are enjoying so far, but what have you thought about the crimes done by Hell's Angels? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever a new crime-related videos are posted. Dennis Taskin, a member of the Hells Angels, was sentenced to 6 years and 9 months in prison after confessing to illegally possessing 5 firearms, ammunition, cocaine, amphetamines, and morphine. An Uzi, 3 revolvers, an antique pistol, dum-dum rounds, and cocaine were discovered by police during a raid on Taskin's Hove apartment on December 26, 2009. After being found guilty of supplying Darren Alcock and Paul Estridge, 2 criminals from Liverpool, with a Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun and 21 bullets in Stockport in August of 2012, Stuart Manners, a member of the Cadishead chapter of Hells Angels, received a 12-year sentence. Estridge and Alcock received identical 14-year sentences. At the request of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, Pierre Rodrigue and David Rolau, 2 Canadian Hells Angels from the Sherbrooke chapter, were apprehended by British authorities in London in February of 1995. They were later extradited to Canada and given a 14-year prison sentence for conspiring to smuggle 558 kilograms of cocaine into the UK in a scheme that also involved Risotto crime family and the Cali cartel. A prominent member of the Karlsruhe Hells Angels and infamous red light figure, Helmut Miko M, 42, was shot dead in broad daylight at a downtown coffee shop in January of 2004. A previous bombing attempt against him in December of 2003 was unsuccessful because the explosive device's contact was sporadic. Conflicts about unresolved financial obligations in the red light area served as the background to the crime. 5 Bandidos members were beaten and robbed by a bunch of Hells Angels in March of 2006 when they were attacked at the Bandidos clubhouse in Stur. At the trial, which took place in Hanover on December 16, 2008, 3 people received jail time and another 11 received suspended sentences. In Hohenschönhausen in Berlin on May 27, 2007, 5 Hells Angels members were attacked, robbed, and wounded 1 Bandidos member. Shots were fired while 19 police cars were in action. The incident was captured on camera by a witness. The witness, the Hells Angels, the Bandidos, and everyone else who engaged in the case kept quiet in court. According to sources, the fight involves 2 high-ranking Hells Angels members. One was the Hells Angels of Berlin's former president, and the other was a high-ranking road captain. 8 members of the Hells Angels west side of the Hells Angels, as well as an unidentified biker who is not a member of the Hells Angels, were captured on the A27 near Walls Road in June of 2008. The clubhouse, Angels Place in Bremen, as well as 5 individual apartments, were searched. According to police reports, the LKA Bremen seized weapons, bats, knives, and illegal substances. Another Hells Angels member was detained by the BKA later in the day. Additionally, according to police accounts, 5 Hells Angels members were missing. According to accounts, the president of the Flensburg Hells Angels was detained in January of 2010 on charges of attempted homicide and hit-and-run driving after allegedly running over a Bandidos member on the A7. The homes of 2 additional Hells Angels members were searched by police on the same day. In connection with the discovery of a weapons store in Flensburg auto repair business, investigators looked for other evidence. Police had found explosives, 5 machine guns, 10 shotguns, pump-action rifles, revolvers, pistols, and a ton of ammo in November 2009. A 42-year-old SEK, or Special Einsatzkommando police officer, was fatally shot on March 17 of 2010 by a member of the Bonn Hells Angels while conducting a home search. The German Supreme Court later cleared him out of murder charges on the grounds that he had acted in self-defense in response to murderous threats made by Bandido members. A Hells Angels member has been on trial in Duisburg since March of 2010 for the headshot murder of an Oberhausen Bandidos member on October 8, 2009 in Hochfeld, Duisburg, which occurred in the city's red light district. A Berlin court sentenced 8 Hells Angels, including the chapter president Kadir Padir, to life in jail in 2019 for the murder of Tauria Ozbek, a rival criminal with whom Padir had a protracted feud. Invading a Berlin bookmaker's store on January 10, 2014, a group of 13 Hells Angels shot Ozbek 6 times. After cooperating with authorities, 1 more Hells Angels member received a 12-year prison sentence reduction. And that is all for today. If you liked our video, then please give us a thumbs up and also press the subscribe button. Also spend some time watching some other videos on our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.